Now, guys, it's been a while since we did the formal interview. I know you've been up to quite a bit, as you just said, that you've been doing some writing. Can you tell me a little bit about why you're writing, what it's for?
Well, it's kind of a need, really, to create. That's why we write music. And then eventually we get enough material and we put together an album and possibly a video and go on tour.
And you guys did a video pretty recently after I spoke to you last. It was sort of like a promo to the band. What brought up the idea for that?
Need. We needed a video.
Somebody said it would be a good idea, and we ran with that, and it turned out pretty cool, actually.
It was really good. Who directed it?
That's Rob Johansson. I think it's
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Rob
yes.
Johansson. Yeah.
Rob Johansson.
Glad he remembered.
Yeah.
Sorry to put you on the spot there, guys.
I only ever know him as EPK Rob. That's how I know him.
That works too,
That's
right?
how he is in my phone.
I'm
was
sure
awesome.
he knows that.
Actually, he was awesome to work with. He really, I don't know, he kind of really got a sense of who we are as people and brought that through in the EPK. So there's no pretense to it. It's a very real kind of a thing. It's pretty cool.
And in saying that, you guys are super down to earth. I mean, every time I talk to you, it's like you guys.
No, we're not.
Except Ray, he's a bit of a diva, but maybe. You okay now?
Yeah,
You good? All right.
Got that out.
Normally,
Can you do it
you guys
again,
are.
but this time with feeling.
Or this time,
That
coffee
it
on your way there.
it wasn't so believable. Maybe next time. But honestly, you guys, you don't really go out there and say, you know, we're a band full of talent, which you clearly are. I mean, you guys rocked it last Friday. Can you tell me a little bit about the Festival of Survival and where that all started?
Well, Clyde Hill, he's been putting these kind of festival things for a long time. We were involved in one probably 15 years ago. It was like 20 bands. We all decided that we were going to do something different, and we dressed up in costumes and just made it something a little different than every other band. Every other band came out and rocked their stuff, and we came out and kind of had fun, right? And that's kind of what it's always been about for us, is having fun and doing stuff that other people like. We don't take ourselves so serious that we lose all the fun out of it, right? So, and with the Festival of Survival, I think this past one that Clyde did, was probably the best one he's ever done. It was the most organized, and normally they never had backline. They always had like a headlining band on stage that wouldn't move any of their gear, and you kind of had to shuffle your gear on and play in front of them. This was the best one so far, and I felt pretty proud to be part of it.
No.
It was like speed dating for bands. So you had 15 minutes to get on and off and play.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
We got 15.
We got 15 because we only played 3 songs. But yeah, so it was like
You guys only need 15.
we only need 15 to show how talented we are. But yeah, it was like a tapas bar, right? You had a lot of little samples of different music and different bands, and it was a good opportunity to spend an entire evening seeing and hearing loads of music without, waiting for your favorite band to come on in 1 hour. So it was nice. It was nice to do that.
It's a veritable cornucopia of rock.
Good choice of words. Now, how did you guys choose the 3 songs that you played?
Like that. One.
It was
One
like,
day
yeah.
before we went on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ray, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, we all showed up. You were running behind.
Yeah.
What are we playing? I don't know.
I was
We'll
actually
just do
sitting
this.
on stage when you guys showed up. I was sitting on the drum stool before they even
Let's go.
came into the club.
It's true, I was kind of witness to that.
Yeah.
We were too.
He's right.
Well, he
About
brought
this-
his lap steel, so the Prohibition was definitely an in there. That was kind of a given there, but the other 2, it was just like, let's play some new stuff. So it was they were newer songs. One of the songs was the one that we did our video for, and we feel strongly towards it. And another one we just finished writing, and we feel strongly towards all our music, so we like to put out the new stuff right away.
And the lap steel and the harmonica, that's something you guys have recently added into your shows, right?
Yeah.
Well, the lap steel's been around. That particular song, Prohibition, has been around a long time. But we just we never, for whatever reason, we just don't play it that often, but it seems to be a fan favorite, so we're going to keep on doing it. With regards to the harmonica, I'm not really a harmonica player, and it just, it just seemed, when we were writing it, just seemed right to pull out and give it a go, and it's worked out, so. Yeah, that's new. Harmonica's new, lap steel's not.
We also have a keyboard player right now too.
That's
Not in England right now.
okay. I was gonna say imaginary.
He's usually right here, but he's not here for a couple weeks. But that's a whole new dynamic that we're kind of writing with too right now, which is pretty cool.
Where'd you find him?
He was a colleague of mine when I was working at the running room. I befriended his wife, who was part of one of the running clinics, and she said her hubby plays keys. And then we headed off. I invited him out. The guy seemed to dig him, and here we are.
Actually, the first night that he came out to jam with us, we wrote a song.
Really?
We just kind of started, busted out this riff, and 20 minutes later we had a song, and he dropped right in, and he was doing all this really funky stuff with his moog, and we all just kind of looked at each other and smiled and went, yeah, this is pretty cool. And then he had learned a few songs off the album, and we jammed some of that, and just the sounds that he was getting, it really kind of fit the vibe. And it's, if you don't try new things, if you don't experiment a little bit and try different directions, you're going to stagnate. And so it's cool. Like Jeff said, it's a cool dynamic that we're working with now. So.
And with him being in England right now, you guys just had your show Friday. You've got a few shows coming up pretty quickly. Is he coming back for those?
No.
So when are you throwing him into the mix?
Well, he's done a couple live shows with us so far, and he's come out and tested the waters with us, and
You'll come back for the Blankfest show. I'm sure you'll be playing that
on the
with
Blankfest. But no, he's had this trip planned for the last few months that he was going back to England. He hasn't been back for over 2 years, I guess, to see his family. So they've saved up all year to go, and we've been a four-piece for so long that we could just meld back into it with no problems, right? We can.
It's a little bit weird. We've gotten used to having his sounds on some of the songs, so it's you get used to it, and now like I kind of miss it a little bit, But like Jay said, we drop back into being a four-piece pretty easily. So.
I think you manage all right. Now, you guys were just talking about Blanket Fest. Can you tell me a little bit about it? I know that it's 12 hours, one show, and it's 12 bands.
Yeah.
When is that?
That's November 10th. It's a Saturday, November 10th, and it starts at 2 o'clock. And we'll be playing at 5. That's our set time. So if you want to come down, that's the time to come. And the rest of the bands, there's tons of great bands on the like Versus the Nothing is on there.
Buddies from the Island Handsome Distraction are playing that as well.
Yeah, they're on right after us at 6 o'clock.
It's to raise money or blankets or clothing for Covenant House. And it's the first annual in Vancouver. And as I'm aware, they've done it across the country previous to this. So this is the first annual Blankfest here in Vancouver.
And there's no official charge to get in the door, right?
No donation by cash or blankets. Yeah.
And do you know where the idea for this was sparked?
I believe it was out of Alberta.
No, actually, I think it was in New York.
Was it in New York? It was in New York.
They did one in Alberta last year, but I think I read about it, and forgive me that I've pretty much forgotten everything about it. But I think it originated in New York a few years ago, and they've had it in some Canadian cities, and it's been pretty successful. And I know that the last one they did was in I don't know if it was Calgary. I think it was Calgary. Yeah. So this is the first one here.
And with you guys going on at 5 o'clock, how do you schedule your day so that you're still okay to go on stage and not quite past that wasted point?
Oh, well, none of us ever drink before a set anyways, or if they do, they'll have like one. Everybody stays pretty cool up until the point.
You sneak another one.
Sneak one on stage, but generally, no, we keep it pretty under wraps. We've been there and done that. We know what it's like not to perform at your best, so we prefer to perform at our best.
And I think that's what really brings you guys to the top. I mean, like I said, I've seen you guys perform quite a few times, and once the whole show is done and you've seen everybody, you still walk away remembering you guys. And I think, it's your talent, but it's your stage presence. It's everything. It's awesome.
Oh, that's really
Thank
you
those
very
are
much.
some nice words.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. Now, like I said, down to earth. You guys just, I don't know. You don't let it in, which is kind of nice.
You know, we're kind of, you know, everybody's their own worst critic, you know, so we kind of keep ourselves in check because, you know, if you think you're the shit, then you'll never try to get any better, right? Because you're already there, and you know, we don't think that we're the shit. I mean, we definitely have a, you know, it's a quiet self-confidence because we've been doing it for as long as we have, right? But I know on my instrument personally, I got a long way to go. You know, I haven't reached the end of my destination yet, you know. I could always practice more, you know, we could always rehearse more, we could always be tighter, we could always write better songs, you know. It's as they say, it's the journey, not the destination, right?
If you see some of the bands that are playing in this city, they're killer. So you want to stay in top form. Some of them aren't so killer, but they're working towards being killer. So they're hungry. We want to stay hungry and be killer.
And you guys have been, you guys have been together for quite a while. You've all known each other for a while. So have Pearl Jam and many other bands of the same caliber. Ray was talking a little bit about Tribute to the Dog. And I want to know, are you guys doing something with that?
It's
It's kind of a secret.
Ray might have let the cat out of the bag.
what? Yeah, I mean that's something it's right now it's on the back burner just because we're honing the project as a 4-piece again because Ray's not with us, Mark is not with us. Ray's right here. He is still with us, and I hope he doesn't storm out on me. But because Mark's not with us, we're honing the 4-piece again. We have a bunch of shows coming up, so we put the Temple of the Dog thing on the back burner. But yeah, we're working on. I like tribute to the dog. I like that. That's really cool. That's
Yeah. You know, names and titles of the show are pretty preliminary, but right now we've got one extra player with us by the name of Dane Schofield.
He's another old schooler. He's been in the fold for 30 years. He plays in another band called Black Ridge Choir.
Yeah.
They're a killer band. We just seen him. It's brand new stuff. So, but he's a great player, and he adds a really good dynamic. He's a good guitar player, and him and Josh play off each other really well. And
we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't think we could pull it off. And with Mark being in the band and adding the keys, because there's some keys in Temple of the Dog, that album, I wouldn't move forward with this if I didn't think that we could do it. And sometimes we surprise ourselves at the end of Say Hello to Heaven or Hunger Strike, and like, yeah, we actually pulled that off pretty good. That's pretty good. So we're pretty stoked, and it's a pretty seminal album for us too. I mean, that was an era in which, that was a new music. That was new to us, and so I mean, maybe predominantly with these cats because they grew up here on the West Coast. I knew about it on the East Side, but those were the new sounds, and so we're kind of paying homage to that, and there's a lot of history in that, especially if you understand the history of Temple of the Dog and the relationships in the band and who they're paying homage to. I mean, we're paying homage to a great album, but they're paying homage to a friend that passed away. So, yeah.
that
That's
album
pretty
changed me. I mean, when I first heard that, it changed the way I heard music. It changed what I wanted to listen to. It changed how I played my guitar. To this day, I think it's easily in my top 5 of greatest albums of all time for me, right? And so to be able to play it with these guys, we've always, in the past we've goofed around on a couple of the songs, but now, doing it seriously and like Ray says, we can pull it off, right? And it's pretty cool.
And that one came out 2 years before it actually got popular and people would actually pay attention to it. I guess it was because it was before Pearl Jam got big. People sort of just shoved it to the side and
I've seen that video Hunger Strike, I don't know, 10 times, and I was like, Temple of the Dog, this is lame. Like, at first, seriously, when I first heard it, I was like totally into Metallica and AC/DC and the Cult, and it was something completely different than what I was listening to. So it took me, like, when it first came out, I was like, wow, this is kind of gay. You know, I didn't really like this, but eventually, I think it was Josh introduced me to Stone Temple Pilots. I was thinking, what are all these weird names and bands? Yeah, Temple of the Dog, Stone Temple Pilots, and so, you know, eventually I got swayed, and the more I listened to it, I was like, wow, this is unbelievable music. And then Temple of the Dog, I got a chance to listen to the whole album, and yeah, I was wrong on my first initial listenings.
It's so raw and kind of jammy, and you know, there's the odd meter in there, which, you know, like bands have always done some odd meter stuff, but the way, you know, Seattle in the early '90s was doing 7/8, you know, Soundgarden, Temple of the Dog, lots of other bands too. But I mean, it was just like, this is the shit. This is cool shit.
And even for their musical, you know, their proficiency, for their age, they were young guys. You know, they were just young cats playing all this incredible music. Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that. And I mean, from a vocal standpoint, listening to Chris Cornell's words and his phrasing and his timing, that's really hard to replicate, because it's not sung based on, you know, how many beats are in this measure and how I can say this in, you know, in 4 beats. He actually sings it with way more emotion than in terms of its very factual musical sense. There's so much emotion all over that, and that's really hard to replicate. And there's so much soul. Yeah, so much soul.
And the way they came up with their collaboration was because of Wood's passing. It was all people that had known him and had toured with him. But how are you guys coming up with your collaboration for the tribute?
Starting at the top and working our way down. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing, picking an album, saying, track 1, learn it. You come to jam, everyone's got it sort of prepared. You blast through it, and you kind of get a little bit tight, and then next rehearsal, it's track number 2. And then you do the same thing, and it's really weird, actually, man, because it gets you're a little worried about whether you're going to have it prepared for the next practice or not. So we did skip one, though. We're not going to say which one. Yeah. I won't let us do it till the end.
Well, I also want to let everybody know that we only plan on doing this like maybe 3 times, performing it 3 times. We don't want to turn it into something that, like, we want to pay actual homage to this album. It's not about making money. It's not about anything like that. It's because we love the songs, and I think a lot of people love the songs, and they'd love to hear it. They probably won't get a chance to see all of Temple of the Dog do this very often.
The
so
anniversary's coming up this year, I think.
So they might be playing.
We better get on it.
Do it now.
It's coming along, but it's got a long ways to go yet, you know, before it sees the light of day. I mean, you know, it's got to be tight.
I want to do it in a theater too. I don't want to just do it in a bar.
That'd be cool.
I'd like to do it in like Massey Theater or something like that, you know, like, I don't know, I don't know what kind of draw we would have, but I think if we promoted it right and we have it down, I think a lot of people would enjoy it. So
Now, talking about promotions, because I don't want to get away from what you guys are doing right now. How do people go about seeing what bands are playing and what time they can see you guys?
there is a Facebook page called Blankfest Vancouver. So if you go to Facebook and you type in Blankfest Vancouver in the search, you'll find it, and it has all the bands that are playing on that page. And then there is down lower, there's all the set times. So you get a chance to see the date, when everybody's playing, what the cause is all about, and bring a blanket because, or a tarp because it's really rainy in Vancouver. People like to stay dry.
Sew a blanket onto a tarp.
Smart.
Yeah.
Always thinking. Will you guys have merchandise at the show?
We will. We'll have brand new T-shirts. We'll have CDs. We'll have download cards, bananas.
Bananas?
Yeah, bananas are always, we got our own bananas, yep.
Do you sign them?
We can,
I think you should.
Yes, we will.
Valid. That's a weird signing banana thing.
Not where I was going with it, but sure. Now, as you guys...
Will you sign my banana?
Didn't think that was the crowd you guys normally geared towards, but...
Well, you know what? If they love music, we'll sign it.
Why not, hey? Now, as you guys know, I have one last question, and I was told that you would all come prepared. So I want to know about your socks today. Jeff, are they black?
Well, you know, I did switch it up a little bit. I think when I was talking to you on Friday, I told you I was going to do something really crazy. And this is crazy for me because I'm usually black, and then I told you sometimes I do wear white socks. But I went with gray cottons this time.
Whoa! Mix of both?
Yeah. So I got a couple pairs of these guys kicking around. So you never know what's underneath these shoes.
I'm black. I'm black. I don't know. These are really comfy. Those
are like grandpa socks.
Well,
they're grandpa socks. Yeah.
Kinda.
Prepare.
Well, you know,
Prepare socks.
I feel old.
Hey, my man, go upstairs and get my sock.
Man, who are you?
Those are actually like male fishnet socks. If you look.
That's what I was thinking. They kind of...
Male
There you
fishnet.
go. Yeah, but they're breathable. They breathe.
They show a little leg.
And they're Calvin Klein. I mean, you know, it's a good name.
Touch of style.
Touch of class.
I forgot, so I just wore my running room socks again.
All right, that still counts. Better than coming barefoot.
I don't know how you can do high boots and low socks. That just, it's not right.
I can't see how you cut the ball off the end of them.
The pom-pom.
Myself, I only own black socks.
That's it, hey?
That's it. I keep it pretty simple. My black cotton socks. If it gets cold out, I'll wear some wool socks. I'll double it up, but black socks it is for me.
I think...
They're like waterproof, fleece-lined waterproof, like military socks, and I want a pair. I really...
kind of need them in Vancouver,
Yes,
to be honest.
I would say.
Oh, we can donate socks.
There you go.
Hey?
I like that idea. You're on it. I like it.
When you said hey, you couldn't have sounded more like you were from the Far East.
I still, I mean, I love each of your sock choice, but I was expecting a little more creativity, guys.
You know what? At the end of the day, when I was driving here, I was like, man, I should have got the good socks this time, but
I actually wanted to buy you socks, but I just did not have it together
That's all right.
to get
I appreciate
the socks.
I will, however, show you guys my socks.
we must.
Because I made sure that I brought cool ones today.
You had cool ones the last time.
So, one Ninja Turtle on that side.
A Ninja Turtle.
What Ninja Turtle is
Raphael.
that? Is that Raphael or is
Wasn't, I think it's Donatello.
Oh,
I think
blue?
Raphael's red, isn't
Yeah,
he?
Donatello's blue, right?
Is he? Thank you guys again.
That's pretty good.
Great speaking with you.
Thank you.
And have a great night.
You too.
Thank you.
Are we playing for you now?
I would love for you to play it for me.
Colored lights surround you, giving way to the wholeness of your soul. Your wisdom is your age now, younger than but older than you know. Remind me why I'm here now. How can I stop the way I feel? When the burden of this lifetime keeps me from